Hello. Monday, April 6. Today we will cover chapter 8 and part of chapter 9. Chapter 8, Operations Planning. The planning, depending on the term, how long, the time, long-term and intermediate term is like a medium term, and then mid-term and short-term. So long-term usually corporate wide plan, and this one intermediate mid-term plan and operations plan. Operations plan performed by low-level managers like this, supervisor and foreman. They perform this plan. Of course, short range, like a monthly, weekly production plan. And next one is aggregate planning. Aggregate planning is intermediate term plan, kind of a mid-term plan, about 3 to 18 months is. And then using this aggregate plan, minimize the cost of resources required to meet demand over period. And then this aggregate planning focus on the total collection or aggregate of operations management resource. That means if multiple products like a type A, type B, type C, like that. So type A product, type B product, and so on. If they share the same part, then first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and so on. Then if type A need 100 parts in first week and 200, product B need 200, 300 second week for type A 100, let's say 100 again, and then 200, 200, 300, this, then total will be 300 first week, 400 second week, 300 third week, 500, and so on. So first month they need 400, 700, so 1100 they need, and then so on. The total in certain term they need, let's say 5,000 total parts they need. So this aggregate planning focus on this total collection or aggregate operation management resource. Okay, next. And then this aggregate planning the main purpose of this aggregate plan. Try to find the optimal combination of the production rate, workforce level, and inventory on hand. So production rate, the number of units completed per unit of time. It's like an output rate. And then workforce level, the number of workers needed for production. So it's like an workforce available labor hour. So if we have 10 workers, then they work 8 hours per day. Then 80 hours they have available. And then inventory on hand, how many inventory on hand? If they need 1000, then inventory level is 100, then they need only plan 900, 1000 minus 100. So this aggregate plan try to find an optimal combination of these three. Okay, and then production plan strategies. If demand change, then how can they handle that demand change? First strategy is chase strategy, using size of workforce change by changing workforce size. Sometimes demand is slow, then lay up. If they demand increase, then hire more workers. So using workforce size, they can deal demand change. The advantage of this chase strategy is minimize costly finished goods inventory. Just produce right amount depending on the demand. So this company can reduce or minimize the inventory cost. But problem is poor work moral, because workers job security is not good. Anytime they can be fired, they can be laid off. So job security is very low. So that is problem of this chase strategy. Next strategy is a stable workforce. Don't hire, don't fire, just using the same workforce level. But if there is demand increase, then work more hours using overtime or using the weekend work. So varying the number of hours worked through a flexible work schedule or overtime. When I was in Alabama, then there are two Korean automobile companies, Hyundai in Montgomery, Alabama, and Kia in Georgia. When I was there, then Hyundai and Kia sales was very good, increased demand. So the demand was higher than the capacity, normal capacity. So they work sometimes 3 shifts, and then sometimes they work even weekend. So at the time, Hyundai and Kia used this stable workforce strategy. Advantage of this stable workforce: avoid emotional and tangible cost of hiring and firing. Just maintain workforce level, so they don't fire or they don't hire. So their job security is okay, and then when they hire or fire, lay up, they need cost, but they can minimize this kind of cost. But the problem is inefficient usage of the workforce. If they work overtime, then usually 1.5 salary, so higher salary, higher cost. Sometimes the lower than capacity, then the remaining capacity that can be unnecessary capacity when demand is low. So inefficient usage of the workforce is disadvantage of this stable workforce strategy. Next strategy is level strategy. Don't fire, don't hire, don't use the workforce size, and then also they don't work now more time or less time. So maintain everything level, but using inventory level. If demand is slow, then just higher up the inventory level. But if the increase demand increase, then out of stock, then they don't sell like that. So advantage of this level strategy is minimize scheduling and hiring or workforce, like stable workforce strategy. But problem is inventory level. If the demand is slow, then increase in inventory level, then inventory cost is high. Yield management. The definition of yield management is allocating the right type of capacity to the right type of customer at the right price and time to maximize revenue or yield. The purpose of this yield management is making demand more predictable. Using the price level change and control demand. The example of the yield management is like when we go movie theater earlier, then cheaper, and then regular time maybe it's regular price, and then sometimes like hotel during the weekend. Hotel room price is high, but during the weekday maybe low price. And also how much is to park in Manhattan 1 hour. When we go Manhattan, then park 1 hour. Nowadays, I don't know exactly, but about 20 years ago, I went to Manhattan and then parked my car there at parking garage. 1 hour, it was like $20. So maybe this time $30, $35 like that. But at the time, my wife went to school in Manhattan. Then my wife found early bird special. If we park there earlier than like 8 a.m. like that, then $9 all day long. That is another yield management example. And also airline ticket, closer to the time, the scheduled time, then higher price. But earlier, if we book an airline ticket, then it's cheaper like that. So yield management using a different price level. If demand is slow, then lower the price, and then demand is high, then regular price or higher than the regular price, like then to control customer demand. So using this one, we can predict demand. Chapter 9, Material Requirement Planning. Simply we call MRP system. This one is a means for determining the number of parts, components, and materials needed to produce a product. If we have a production plan, then how many parts to produce a certain product, determining how many parts and then when we need parts using this MRP system. So MRP system provides time scheduling information when the part we need and then how many material part we need. So using this MRP system, we can plan a production plan. The purpose of this MRP system is getting the right materials to the right place at the right time. So what kind of material, and then where, and then when we need. And then improve customer service and minimize inventory investment and maximize production operation efficient, like an make it efficient production process using this MRP system. And then based on this MRP system is based on dependent demand. Earlier we talked about demand, then we said independent and dependent demand. Independent demand, usually the finished product. Finished product demand is independent demand. And then part, component, and material demand, they are dependent demand. So based on the output or finished product demand, we know automatically, we know how many parts. So finished product demand is independent demand, and part, component, material demand are dependent demand. MRP system based on this part, component, material demand. MRP system is a software. Currently, many companies use this MRP system to plan a production plan, production plan. That is the computer system and a software system. To run this MRP system, computer system program, there are three required files. They are Bill of Material BOM and Master Production Schedule MPS and inventory record file. So to run MRP system, we need three required files: BOM material, bill of materials, and MPS, master production schedule, and inventory record file. So using three required files, run MRP system, then MRP system produce primary report, such as how many parts, and then when, and then where, like this, show those information. And then sometimes if there is an exception, produce a secondary report, like the demand change, suddenly change, then kind of exception report, and then anyway, such secondary report. First required file for the MRP system, Master Production Schedule MPS. This one, MPS, defining when and how many units of finished product. You know, MRP system based on dependent demand, part and component and so on. But this MPS, the numbers are finished product, not the part. First, we need the information about how many finished product we should produce. Then, based on that independent demand, we know dependent demand, part demand. So this master production schedule MPS based on finished product. And then this MPS from this aggregation of aggregate production plan. Earlier, we talked about this aggregate production plan. This aggregate production plan is intermediate, such as the mid-term production plan. It's not the long-term production plan. So this MPS is developed by this aggregation of mid-term or intermediate aggregate production plan, like this. Intermediate aggregate production plan was focused on total collection, and then this aggregate total collection like a weekly and monthly plan, and then this one is MPS. Second required file, bill of material BOM file. This one is kind of a list showing the structure of the finished product and component, like this. So finished product A need 2 of B component, 3 of C component, and then each component B and C need 1D part, 4E part, and so on, like this. So using this BOM, we can see the structure of finished product and then what kind of part or component we need. When we develop this BOM, use this low-level coding. Low-level coding is bring all of the same component parts to a single level of product completion. Before using this low-level coding rule, same part like part are here and here and here. Same part on different level or tiers, like SS here, third level, and then fourth level or tier. So sometimes if we use this BOM, then sometimes it's miscalculation how many part S and need and so on like that. So bring all of the same component on the same level like this. Same part N here and here, not in other level. Same part R. Bring all the same part on the same level to make easy to compute total number of each part needed. So using this low level coding, we can reduce miscalculation. And third, the last required file for running MRP system is inventory record file. Inventory record file shows inventory status, current status, and how many inventory on hand, and so on. So this is important because now when we need 1,000 part, then if we have like 100 on hand, then we order only 900 like this. So inventory code file is required. And when we order, use the policy, such policy. When we talk about inventory management, then we use the different order policy like fixed order quantity or fixed time and so on like that. So in MRP system, when we use run MRP system, then we may use different ordering policy. First one is lot for lot ordering system. The order lot is required to the net requirement lot. This net requirement lot is like if we need like 1,000 parts, then inventory level is 500. Then we need only 500. 1,000 minus 500. That 500 order size is net requirement. So if we use lot for lot ordering system, then that order only net requirement. So if we use this lot for lot ordering system, order net requirement lot, order size is net requirement lot, then we can minimize inventory cost because just order just we need. So we can minimize inventory level and the inventory cost. Fixed lot size ordering system. I think you are familiar with the EOQ, economic order quantity model, Q model, fixed order quantity model when we talk about inventory management. So using this EOQ, calculate EOQ, optimal level, order size, then order the same order size again and again. That is a fixed lot size ordering system. Next policy, ordering policy is list total cost. The idea of this one also talked about this one when we cover order size, then EOQ, inventory management. At the time, I mentioned the total cost. Total cost, then order quantity, then total cost. When the total cost is listed total cost, that is like optimal Q. On this point, order cost and inventory cost cross. So from this idea, if we need 50 first week, then order only 1 week amount, 50. Then it is just the right amount consumed in a week, so there is inventory. There is no inventory, so carrying cost or inventory cost 0, but order cost always. Then if we order like in the 2 weeks requirement, so 50 first week and 60 second week, then 2 weeks amount is required amount is 110, 50 plus 60. Then use 50 and then 60 carry over some. There is some inventory cost. And the order cost, assume order cost is the same, and so on. So difference between, on this graph, difference between order cost and carrying cost, inventory cost decrease when we increase order quantity. So difference is 47. Order cost minus carrying cost. And then when order 110, then 43, 44, and 47 minus 10 is 37, and 47 minus 19 is 28, and then 47 minus 38 is 9, and then 47 minus 56.75 is negative 9.75. Then 47 minus 74.75 is 27.75. Make an absolute value because just the distance between the order cost and carrying cost. Okay, difference this distance. If we increase the order quantity and then decrease, then increase again. Maybe some point between 335 and 410, maybe there is zero difference. But if we order like this, then among those order quantity, the smallest difference order quantity is this one. So if we use the list total cost ordering rule or policy, then 335 order quantity is optimal. And next ordering policy or rule, list unit cost. If we order 50, then total cost is carrying cost plus order cost, 47. And if we order 110, then carrying cost plus order cost is 50, and so on. Then unit cost equals this total cost divided by order quantity. So 47 divided by 50 is 0.94. 50 divided by 110, 0.4545. So this unit cost decrease, but at a certain point increase again. So among this unit cost, the smallest is this one. So if we use this list unit cost order policy, then 410 order quantity is optimal. And next one is example. Stop here, and on Wednesday we will continue this example of an MRP system. That's all, but you have this cost. You have assignment. I will show you. Okay, on Moodle, you have assignment 5. This one, 10 true or false type questions, and then 2 attempts are allowed. So take first attempt. If you don't like your score, then you can take one more. Each attempt is given 25 minutes, and then due date is Sunday, by Sunday, April 12th. Okay, see you on Wednesday.